Guys, why did you not tell me about Die Hard? Why did I wait this long? Why on earth did I wait this long to watch Die Hard? I mean, I thought I knew. I had heard about it. I'd heard the whole thing about how Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I love to watch Die Hard every Christmas. Yippee, yippee-ki-yay. All the things. I'd heard about it. I know people talking about it. People talk about how they love it. They're talking about Alan Rickman. I didn't comprehend exactly what I was turning on when I decided to finally watch Die Hard on Christmas. Not Christmas Eve. I watched it on Christmas. And I just recorded a video about Red One, which I thought was really worthwhile. So if you want to just click the link above, totally watch my little review of Red One and then just go watch Red One, or at least add it to your list for next year. So like I said in Red One, there were all of these little details. The screenplay was just out of this world good. I cannot describe how good. There's no way that I can describe how well written the Die Hard screenplay is. There are so many details. I've only seen it once and I can't stop thinking about it. Not because it disturbed me, but because I was so delighted by the craftsmanship that went into this movie that we don't have anymore. We just don't have it anymore. I would watch Die Hard just to remember the good old days back when screenwriters were hired for talent. The details, the details of logic. You know how people are like complaining about Star Wars and about like the Acolyte? The one thing that comes back to my head is in the Acolyte, there's this part where she stares at a fire and gets fixated on the fire and it's burning in outer space. And people are saying that fire doesn't burn in outer space. And other people are like, this is just a movie. You need to calm down. And I'm also like, but fire doesn't burn in outer space. It's taking me out of the narrative. I can't enjoy the movie because the logic doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you the experience I had with a small detail in Die Hard. At the beginning of the movie, Bruce Willis gets into a limo with the limo driver. And, okay, millions of details. First of all, the detail that I love about his character is that he sits in the front seat with the driver. He pulls out a cigarette and he smokes it. This was back in the 80s, and you could do that in a limo. He's smoking a cigarette, and you're like, okay, he's a smoker. That's fine. Lots of people are smokers. He had to smoke in that scene. Let me tell you why. Because later on, he's trying to go through the ventilation system and it's totally dark. He pulls a lighter out of his pocket. He had to smoke. I almost stopped the film and described this to the person I was watching it with. In fact, I think I did. I think I paused the movie and I said, can I just say something? He had to smoke a cigarette in the first scene of the film so that during this scene, it would make sense that he would have a lighter in his pocket to light the way while he's going through this shaft. The details, the logic, it was like balm for my soul. I cannot tell you. There was a million small details, small little details about like seeing the family picture in the background, the fact that she puts it down. I'm like, that's going to be important later. And it was important later. It was fundamentally important later. I would have to say that Die Hard is a masterpiece of setup and payoff. If you want to study how to set something up for your audience and then pay it off, paying off every single setup, not leaving any loose ends, this is the movie to watch. And I'm telling you, like, study it. Study it like you're doing a master's degree on it because it's so masterful. Now, Alan Rickman. I know that a lot of people are like, Alan Rickman is, oh my God, so scary in this movie. He is just so amazingly evil. And I'm like, to me, it's a comedy. I was laughing my butt off at Alan Rickman. He is so funny in this movie. To me, Now, this is, you have to understand, this is me and my relationship with Alan Rickman. My relationship with Alan Rickman started when I was in my early teens and I was watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He plays the Sheriff of Nottingham, which is actually pretty close to this character that he's playing in some cases, in some respects. In tone, I feel like they're similar. Where the Sheriff of Nottingham in that version of Robin Hood, he is very deeply evil, but also flippin' hilarious. He's so funny. But all of it is extremely dark humor and, of course, delivered how only a Brit can, and specifically within Britain, only the way Alan Rickman can. That was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, this man is just a master of dark comedy. So there's that. Along with that, his accents, he ended up using a couple of different accents in the film as part of the story. So at one point he pretends to be an American instantly. Like he just instantly pretends to do it and kind of goes with it. It built the tension so much because you're like, is he going to crack? Like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? The whole movie is like that. I'm like, I know that he lives, but I don't, like Bruce Willis. I'm like, I know that Bruce Willis lives, but what's going to happen? Oh my God, how is he getting out of it? The suspense was amazing. And at first I was like, well, it sounds like he's just using his traditional British accent. But then I listened a little closer because a lot of the other characters were German. And then I heard it. Alan Rickman just kills it every time. He was using a British English with a very, very subtle German accent. And I don't know, like people who love this movie, if you love it and you got to tell me in the comments, have you heard, like, can you hear that? Like, did you notice that? Is that something you noticed? His performance is so flippin' nuanced and so good. It sucked me all the way into this movie. Bruce Willis as well. I mean, Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis as Bruce Willis in this film, but I loved every single second of it. I mean, I just love him in this movie. I love the plot between him and his estranged wife. I love how he kind of like won her over. I loved how he was repentant. I loved the personal journey that he went on trying to get out of this building and trying to help everybody else. I just couldn't be more delighted. Everything was paced amazingly well. What's interesting is that if you hold it up to today's standards for, say, inclusivity, all of that mishmash, like there was plenty of that even. And I'm like, this is like the late 80s, guys. Like this is what I keep telling you. Inclusivity is, there's not enough. I'm like, they're all over the place. There's all kinds of races of people. There's international people, and everyone's being played respectfully. And they have huge pivotal roles. Like it just ticks absolutely all of the boxes. The action is amazing. The fights are great. For me, it's kind of nice because it doesn't get too gory. I mean, there's some shooting and there's some blood, but mostly I can focus on the plot. It's not too gross, which a lot of times 80s films did get too gross, and that's why I can't really stick them out. But it was fun. It definitely was a Christmas movie because they tied it in. They're like, ooh, Christmas Miracle. And icing on the cake, whoever the composer was for this film who chose the music, turning Ode to Joy into a villain's theme is just so incredible. I cannot even. I will never hear Ode to Joy the same way. And all I gotta say is I waited way too long to watch Die Hard. Also, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I'll see you next time.